Nicola, I really want an electric SUV. Oh, that's nice. Get a Skoda Enyaq IV. Okay. The end. Oh, you want me to review it? Oh, all right then.
This is the Enyaq IV and it's Skoda's first ever EV. And first things first, okay, it's not without its flaws. No car is, but we reckon that this is one of the most well-rounded electric cars on sale today. Let me explain.
It's the kind of car that you can buy without even thinking about it. Let's start with the design, right? It's not what you would call beautiful, but it's not what you would call ugly. It's modern and fresh without being too modern and fresh. It's not bad. I mean, a few people have said to me over the last couple of days of me having it, that's all right, isn't it? And I've gone, yeah, it is. But do me a favour. If you ever get one of these, don't go for the crystal grille thing because you're just going to look like a teenager with glow-in-the-dark braces.
So the Enyaq is perfectly agreeable to look at, and guess what? Even though it's a big, heavy electric Skoda, it's a lovely thing to drive.
Now, the danger when it comes to modern cars is engineers tend to get a little bit overexcited when it comes to things like handling and cornering ability and sportiness. But the fact is, if you want to buy a car like this, you want a big family SUV, you probably don't care about stuff like that. Because actually having all the sportiness and all that sort of stuff takes away from that nice relaxing feel when you've got a car full of kids and dogs, etc. It's where the Enyaq is very different. This is a very relaxing car to drive, and I'll tell you what, we film on this road quite often, and I know this is a very bumpy road, but this car is handling the bumps like a pro, like a blooming legend is what it's doing. Very, very impressive, even considering the fact this car weighs like 2 tons. It's still handling pretty well. I mean, it's got a low centre of gravity, so the battery is on the floor. So it kind of takes away the body roll a little bit, even if you are driving it like a moron. But this isn't the kind of car that you feel the urge to drive like a moron. It's not encouraging you to drive it like a moron. It's encouraging you to drive it like this. I'm so relaxed. Does that make sense?
Do you see what I mean? The Enyaq is making all the right noises. Well, I say noises.
Can we all just take a moment to listen, please? Silent, refined, quiet electric motors, which is exactly what you want at the end of a long day, isn't it? You want to feel relaxed. I mean, don't get me wrong, performance in this thing isn't going to knock your socks off. If you go for the entry-level model, the IV60, that'll do 0 to 60 in like 8 seconds. The one we've got here is the IV80, which is just a little smidgen faster, a little smidgen pigeon faster. It's got 201 brake horsepower, but it's the range on this thing. 329 miles is the official figure, which is actually more than the Ioniq 5. Very nice. I mean, obviously it depends on how you drive it, as with every electric car. If you drive it like an idiot, you're going to get less than 329, aren't you? Yes. But no, overall, this drives lovely. And charging, you can charge at a 125 kilowatt fast charger. That will get you 10 to 80% in half an hour. Lovely. Oh, there is one thing that I really wanted to point out to you, and that is satisfying indicator sounds. Listen to this. I'm not going to lie, since I've had this car, I have been indicating more often because I like listening to the noise. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, you can also get a fruity 4-wheel drive version with 261 brake horsepower. Hold your horses though, because the fruitiest model, the Enyaq IV6, probably isn't a car you should buy without thinking about it. It costs over 50 grand. And even though it's quick, it's still not a driver's car by any means, and we prefer the laid-back nature of the standard model. Then there's the hunchback Enyaq IV Coupe, which is more expensive and less practical than the standard car. We'd hesitate to choose that one as well. Anyway, let's have a poke around inside.
Okay, welcome to the interior. As ever, nothing too crazy going on in here. However, you do know that you're sat in something quite solidly, brilliantly built. It's a really lovely layout, actually. Oh, there is a little bit of ambient lighting, which I spotted while I was driving it at night. You can't see it now because it's daytime. But there's ambient lighting along here and along here as well, which looks really lovely in the evenings. Now you've got a virtual cockpit display, that's a standard giant screen, 13 inches, which works really, really well. I've been mucking around with this over the last few days and I find the graphics are just brilliant. Everything is all really super responsive. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all of the things. But I think you know where I'm about to go. Climate controls are all in the screen. It's not as bad as a VW setup. You do still get slideys, which is just for the volume along here. It's still annoying because it's still within the screen and that still irritates me, but it doesn't irritate me as much. So I'm going to put that down as a positive, kind of. I'd rather a knob. Hashtag we want knobs. But the good thing about this car is the space. I mean, I'm going to show you through the magic of television by magically appearing in the rear seats. See? Magic. Anyway, you can comfortably get 3 adults back here. There is so much space. It's utterly brilliant. Look at all of this. Put stuff in there, put your phone in there, look at that. Put your dinner on there. Ah, little cup holder. Love that. Ah, blind. Yeah. Ah, charge points. Check your chewing gum on there. Lovely. I'll tell you what, the boot as well. 585 litres of space, which is actually 43 litres bigger than an ID.4. And then you've got the Skoda Simply Clever stuff, like the umbrella in the door, the place to hold your parking ticket and all that sort of stuff. Oh, and super long charging cables. Oh, Skoda. So good.
See? I told you, the Enyaq IV is pretty much all things to all people. You've got to take our word for it.